Subtracting polynomials. Just like adding polynomials, subtracting polynomials, you may see in Algebra 1 like this, but in your textbook, it may look like this as well. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind is you have a subtraction sign out in front of the parentheses. That means it's going to do the inverse operation of each of your terms. So x squared here is positive. It now becomes a negative. And this plus 2x now becomes minus 2x. To make it easier to remember this, because it's very easy to forget to change one of your functions, you may want to rewrite it like I did over here. Once I see it this way, it's pretty easy for me to remember it that way. Over here, I could easily forget that this should be a negative or a subtraction as opposed to adding. From there, it's just a matter of doing the subtraction. 2x squared minus x squared is x squared, and then negative 3x minus 2x would be negative 5x. So either way, whether you keep it this way or you rewrite it this way, you are still going to get the same result either way. Let's take a look at the second example. Here we have 4y squared plus 1 minus 2y squared minus 7. I went ahead and wrote it so it's kind of stacked on top of each other. Subtraction sign still out in front of the parentheses, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this. So I've gotten rid of my parentheses. Basically, I've used the distributive property here. Subtraction, it's basically negative 1 times 2y squared is going to give us a negative 2y squared, and then negative 1 times negative 7 will give us a positive 7. Okay. Whether you stick with the blue or go with the red, it's still going to be the same answer either way. 4y squared minus 2y squared is going to give us 2y squared, and then 1 plus 7 will give us plus 8. Here's our third and final example for this video. X squared plus 2x minus 5x plus 7. Here I've matched up my like terms, so x squared does not have a like term to subtract from it or have anything subtracted from it. 5x has a like term here, and the 7 has no like term above. The thing you have to be aware of here is you have to still distribute this subtraction sign between these two terms. So I've rewritten it here up in red. So we're doing negative 5x minus 7. And our final answer would be x squared. Again, nothing to subtract there, so it's just going to drop down. 2x plus or minus 5x will give us negative 3x, and then this positive 7 becomes a negative 7 because we've used the distributive property to multiply that by a negative 1 essentially, so that becomes subtracting 7. So here is our final answer, x squared minus 3x minus 7. So to keep in mind when you're doing these problems, this second expression needs to have the inverse operations going on. So any positive number becomes a negative number, any negative number becomes a positive number.